So I just finished reading The Millionaire Next Door, and it was a good book. Very informational is one of the big things that I took away from it about how millionaires behave, how millionaires shop, how millionaires budget, how millionaires think about things, and a lot of the people that were in this book. Sorry, my lips are greasy. A lot of people that are in this book were millionaires who have accrued their wealth over a lifetime of being frugal, of being good stewards, of not going out and buying the newest, latest luxury car every 2 years, or not living above their means, which is a pretty well-known one, but also a pretty important one. And it gives a whole lot of examples about how some millionaires, they create weakness in the weak ones, meaning after they have achieved a sense of financial independence or wealth, those kids who aren't as prone to be able to produce economically, they help them economically with cash gifts and clothes and school fees, after school curricular fees, which is true. And I was reading in this book, there was a pair of sisters who were both the daughters of a dad who was a millionaire. And the younger sister, Anne, learned that as the parents who have the wealth, have the means, they control a lot of the influence that they play in their grandchild's life. And Anne didn't want that for her children. So she decided to put 1,000 miles between her millionaire mother and father and herself and her husband in order to create her own life. And after her dad had passed away and her sister was dependent upon them, and through hard work and determination, resiliency, grit, she became a self-made millionaire in her own right. And she actually ended up taking care of some of her nieces and nephews because her sister was economically unable to. And I just got a lot of insight from that. And that one, don't be dependent upon your parents or really anyone for financial stability. Wealth is not limited. Riches is not limited. You can get out there and create it. And there's risk involved, of course. There's a risk being an employee. You could get fired and lose your one source of income. There's a risk being in business. You could start a business and it failed. And I read somewhere in this book, which was written in the study did almost 30 years ago, that a lot of businesses don't generate over $50,000 a year in income. So there's no guarantees. And I think the last thing I took away from this book, which was important for me, because I want to be in business and I want to have a life and I have a big vision and I have a big plan. The last thing I read was something about fear. And let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it right away, then I'm just going to skip it. It said Larry believed that the self-employed were fearless. This was somebody who was observing entrepreneurs who have built success. That's not true. There's a ton of fears. Those who, I can speak to myself personally, I desire to build a fund, to be in business, but I have a ton of fear. And I haven't had the best track record in the past, but there is no way that I can just sit on the sideline and just let the desire, the drive, the ambition, the goal, the vision that God has placed in me just lie dormant and roll over. So I am going to push forward into it and push to create the life that I want. And I pray that as I build this business, all those who are able to benefit from it are blessed by it.